Bulldogs are also open this week prior to traveling to Tennessee on October 5th. To ask a question for Coach Smart, please press star 1 on your telephone's keypad now. And Coach, while we wait on any questions, if you could take a moment to comment on your team as you enter this open date.
Sorry, Coach is on his way to the phone now. Please just hold one moment.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for being with us. While we see if there are any questions today, would you mind just commenting on your team as you enter this open date?
Yep. We opened up practice yesterday. We had some film review and things like that Monday and conditioning stuff, and then yesterday we had good physical practice, and we'll get after it the next 2 days and start working on our next opponent, which will be Tennessee off the bye week.
We'll begin with Murray Poole of Bulldog Illustrated.
Hey, Kirby. I know Tennessee's off to a little slow start, but I know they've got some really good players. Jarrett Tarantino, the quarterback, and Ty Chandler, running back. I guess the receivers they have, Jawan Jennings, we all I think remember him from the Hail Mary 2016, and Marquez Callaway, the big tight end, Dominique Wood Anderson, Daniel Batuli on defense, and Nigel Warrior, pretty good players. I say that because I would like to get your comments on a lot of these guys, and I'm sure you came across them in the recruiting trails at Alabama and here now.
Yeah, I know all those guys you mentioned very well, and they're part of our side of the conference, so you get to see them against other teams as you watch them, and we played against them, a lot of those guys, for 2 or 3 years. So I got a lot of respect for those guys, really good football players. Those guys have all gotten better and developed. I've been able to watch them play, a lot of them since high school, and they got good football players.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Steve Moulton of WZZN.
Hey, Coach, how are you today?
Hey, Steve, doing good.
So with attendance being an issue in college football, with the kind of atmosphere that you guys generated, a night game CBS and a top 10 matchup, and knowing what you guys have scheduled down the road, how important you think it is for the health of the sport? I know this is kind of a 10,000-foot look at the health of the sport, but games like that to help college football as a whole, Coach?
Yeah, I certainly think games like that are needed, especially right now. I just think they're really important. I think having a balance, to me, is as much about fan experience as it is matchups, and I think it's really important that your fans enjoy coming to your games. They have a good atmosphere. They're able to put a good product out on the field that they can enjoy, and you can make the case that a lot of the fans don't like the lower level matchups, but a lot of those teams survive with what they're able to get and guarantees for those games, and it also gives at least us a chance to expand our fan base, because a lot of fans get to come to that game that might not get to come to a Notre Dame, so they get to come enjoy Sanford Stadium and bring their kids and family members who might not otherwise get an opportunity to come to games like that. And I think all that's good for college football. The matchup we had and the amount of electricity in the game in the stadium was awesome, and you acknowledge that maybe every game can't be that way, but at the same time you want more of them.
Would a happy medium be? I know there was some talk about 9 conference games. Is that something that you're in favor of, you're not in favor of, Coach?
Again, I leave judgment of that to the SEC office. I think Greg Sankey and his staff do a tremendous job researching that, and they're looking into all the options and possibilities moving forward to what we can do to better our game and make everybody's schedule more conducive to success for us all.
Thank you, Coach.
Next is Glenn Gilbo of USA Today Network.
Coach, after the game Saturday, you said you were able to run the ball better because you had been running the ball. But by that you mean even if you're not running well early in the game, you want to stick to it. That's your philosophy?
wouldn't say that. I would say that every body blow you give a team has a wear and has an effect. And we certainly felt like over the last, really probably the last 3 years, not 4 years, but over the last 3 years, the total effect of being able to give body blows does have an effect on teams. I think when you talk to teams after they play us, they definitely feel that's the case. But never would I say if you can't run the ball, you have to continue to run the ball. You've got to be able to mix it up. You can't be one-dimensional in anything you do, especially when you play a top 10 team, in which I've got incredible respect for, Notre Dame or really any SEC team. They've got to find ways to stop the run during the week, and most teams, that's the first thing they try to do is stop the run versus us. So we got to have some things to lighten the box and allow our playmakers outside to make some plays.
But you did run the ball better in the second half, though, didn't you?
We did run the ball a little better in the second half at times. There were some times that we had some breakdowns and some things they did to hurt us. But again, I think a lot of that comes from the wear and tear and the totality of the physical nature of running the ball.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap you up today, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And then we'll pause for about 3 minutes before we continue with Florida.